I guess to some extent, it's Arsenal versus PSG in the final.
It is. It is.
Yeah, but
I know he's not
he played
really...
with so many teams that at one point it can be any team in the final.
That's true. That's true.
What do you think?
It's a big game.
No, look. By the way, on the night, the best team won, even from Paris, and so they went about it a different way today. Like what we saw last Tuesday is two teams that were trying to win a game, and I was trying to say that before you arrived, that we saw tonight a team that didn't want to lose a tie anymore.
Yes.
The way they went about it, Paris Saint-Germain, and what Luis Enrique offered, because you have Nuno Mendes taking a yellow card early doors into the game. You have to defend on Michael Olise. You don't have Hakimi. So suddenly, how are you going to defend and how are you going to come out? So what did they do? You will see it. We don't want to talk about it. Nuno Mendes stayed. They built in the free. Warren Zaire-Emery, now on the ball and off the ball, was giving them the overload inside. And what Luis Enrique offered there, staying in a 3v3 at the back with Bayern Munich. Yes, he was brave a different way. It wasn't so much about total football, but he was brave with the way he went about it, with the shape of the team. And he got his reward.
Were you hopeful for more from Bayern?
I always felt PSG were a level above Bayern in the first game. I was almost surprised how well Bayern played in the first game. Yeah, but let's not forget, at one stage it was 5-2.
Yeah.
To PSG. So I think they probably shot themselves in the foot a little bit. But when you look at the middle of midfield, and obviously, David, you know that position better than any of us. I mean, when you look at Vitinha in that, Neves in there, I mean, I went back a few years and it almost reminds me a little bit of that Barcelona midfield.
Yeah.
That's how, the real quality in there, isn't it?
I mean, they controlled the midfield, as simple as that. And when you control the midfield, then it's, it's... When you said, did you expect more from Bayern? PSG just controlled the game. It's like what Thierry just said. They controlled the game. It was a team that didn't want to lose the tie. And that's how they played. And I think when you control certain parts of the pitch, it's hard to break through.
In terms of the final now, how do you expect Arsenal to play PSG?
Thierry?
Hey, listen, I woke up with a smile this morning. I said it, 20 years for us to go in our only second final. And then being in a situation to compete for the league, and it looks like we might. Again, I'll stay in my lane. But, it's 22 years in the league, 20 years to go back in the final. I woke up with a smile. I don't know. I would like to think, although we still didn't lose in Europe, we didn't concede a lot of goals. That counts for something. But Paris Saint-Germain will have the experience, obviously, of knowing what it is to win it. And when you cross that line, you don't have the fear of winning anymore. Sometimes the fear of winning, I always say, is bigger than the fear of losing. So hopefully we're going to go there, be brave, but we have to beat and battle against the champions. And that won't be easy. We know that.
Are you nervous?
I think, I'm usually okay, but I think I will be nervous in that final. Yes, I will be, because they're about to do something that I couldn't do myself. And because I'm an Arsenal fan, that's all you want. You want your team to win. I want to experience it. I didn't experience it as a player. The second thing I can experience it as is a fan. So hopefully it's gonna happen. But when you see the way Paris Saint-Germain played tonight, they can kill you in both styles. They can kill you on the ball, scoring more goals than you, and they can also neutralize you. And obviously it was 1-1 because Harry Kane scored. They can also beat you like that, although they didn't win on the game, but you understand what I'm saying. So they have everything that they need to have, but we've been pretty resilient, difficult to score against. We don't over-create, but when we do create, we end up putting the ball in the back of the net. So different style, if you can say. Let's see who's going to win that one.
How proud was you seeing the fans the way they were in that stadium last night?
Listen, I never saw the Emirates like that, or I didn't see Highbury like that in Europe. We have to be honest, and we all know you guys played in some big stadium that sometimes, as we call it in France, the 12th man, which is the crowd, will bring you places in Europe. But I have to say, and I'm sure it's the same way, I was happy for the Arsenal nation. I was happy for Mikel Arteta. I was happy for Bukayo Saka. I tried to make him talk yesterday, be emotional, but he went back into the seriousness. If you play, you're on the field, you're not going to start to talk about your struggle and everything, which I understand. I would have done the same thing, but because I'm here, I wanted to make people understand that it's not easy to be there. And I wanted to be there. Obviously, I had a job to do, but who was there? My kids. And for a very long time, those guys were looking at me and said, why did you do that to us, to support Arsenal? You know, why that? And I'm like, what do you mean, why that? You got to support your team. And for the first time yesterday, when I waited for them at breakfast, they came and they had a bigger smile than me. So
amazing.
I was like, you see, it can happen. Okay, we waited a long time. By the way, nothing still happened.
Right. Yeah.
Understand me well. Let's not, get too carried away. We are in the final. I'm over the moon about that. But then you don't want to lose the final because I still have it here. I still have nightmares about it. And, so I'm sure you guys remember final that you lost. It's not easy to digest overall. But look, it looks like we are okay at the minute. Let's see what we're going to do against West Ham. But to see the joy on the face of my kids was priceless.
Very cool. Love that. David, the next time we're going to see you is Budapest.
Yep.
Fisher, we hope next season or whenever. You're always welcome. You're just always welcome.
But Jamie
we love you.
Jamie did after the game, the first leg, you said, I think Bayern has a bit of an advantage, right? I remember, or no?
No, that was probably Micah.
Oh, it's Micah. Sorry, that was Micah.
If you don't blame me.
Yeah, it was Micah.
Harry Kane is one of those players I always feel sad for when you see him kind of miss out on a big opportunity like going to the Champions League final like this. You too, obviously, Jamie.
Yeah, I do. And listen, football's a team game. And listen, I think on here we've all been fortunate to win trophies, but you need your teammates. You need help. You need to help them. They need to help you. But there's no doubt he's I think I said last week, he's one of the greatest players we've ever produced in England. But unfortunately, for one reason or another, he's never won the biggest trophy that you can win in club football. He played a final with Tottenham, which is almost a great achievement to get to the final with Tottenham, no disrespect. But you go to Bayern Munich to win the Champions League. And I think he's been in 2 semi-finals now. Well, certainly a couple of years ago, one at Real Madrid, very unlucky.
World Cup final, Euro final.
Yeah, exactly. It just doesn't seem to have got across the line. And we all need a little bit of luck in certain games to do that. And I think he's been very unfortunate. And I actually was thinking today, with Arsenal going through, was it almost made for the first time he wins his first big trophy?
Oh.
That's against Arsenal, his biggest rivals, because they've probably always rammed that down his throat a little bit, haven't they? That rivalry. But no, listen. I mean, listen, I think about this. When you think of great English strikers, you think of sort of Harry Kane, Gary Lineker and Alan Shearer. And Gary Lineker and Alan Shearer are probably similar in some ways, and they don't have... The goal-scoring record's amazing. As I said, probably England's 3 best strikers, along with Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, Rooney.
But they don't have lots of trophies to go with it, but they always do their job and get the goals. And Harry Kane's the same. And I just hope he does do it. I do. He deserves it for what he's given to the game, not just in England, but for his country. And also going to Germany now, he's been a revelation, hasn't he?
Do you remember going into the Champions League final last season? I don't exactly remember how we thought, but I feel like PSG were probably favoured against Inter Milan, but I don't think anybody thought that we would see a 5-0 scoreline. Is there any chance that we could see PSG take apart Arsenal the way they did to Inter Milan? I'm just asking the question.
I think the issue.
Arsenal are just way too defensively stable.
I think it's too strong defensively, too well organised. I don't ever see anybody taking Arsenal to the cleaners. They haven't lost a game in the Champions League. I mean, what an achievement that is. You get to the final not losing a game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
Look, anything can happen. We've seen it. We've talked before, and we're like, I didn't think that was going to happen. Or that's, So Arsenal didn't concede a lot of goals. I said that again. It counts for something. As you said, Jamie, you didn't lose in the Champions League, but you're playing the champion. So it's I don't want to jinx anything. I don't want to talk too much about it. They have the experience of winning it. You don't, but you're gonna have to at one point have that experience of winning it. I just hope it's gonna happen now. But who knows? I don't want to talk too much. Let's see. I'm gonna be nervous on the day, as you know. I don't usually get nervous, but that's a special one. So
stay in your lane.
No, this one I'll step out of mine and I'll be nervous.
Will you wear an Arsenal shirt underneath the shirt and just kind of?
Oh yeah.
Would be a nice idea, wouldn't it?
Oh, but like I said, I would rather wear a tracksuit but apparently if you don't wear a suit, people don't listen to you.
Would you rather come here in a tracksuit every week?
Hell yeah!
Oh wow!
Come on, like I always say, you don't go about it. It's about what you say, not what you wear. So if I could wear an Arsenal shirt, I will wear an Arsenal shirt. Yeah, that's for sure.
Vincent Kompany has been speaking to Anita Jones.
Oh, wow.
My job is to analyse what Bayern Munich can do better, But why it's not a red card, I don't understand. Why we concede a penalty in Paris and why we don't receive a penalty here. I understand the rules, so I get it. You know, like it's your own player, kicks it out, but the hand is like flapping sort of somewhere in the air above his head.
Yeah.
Whereas our situation is clearly goes to the body, then goes to the hand, and everybody who's played the game knows that it is something impossible to do anything about. And plus, in other situation, it hadn't been given in other games.
Yeah.
Very recent after when we played. So yeah, it plays a part, and it plays a part.
Those inconsistencies you speak of, do your players then feel that they've been at the hard end of it tonight then?
No, I think we're able to respect the caliber of opposition we played against, but when the games are so tight, when the players are giving so much of their energy to achieve that goal, and overall when they do so well, you know, at least if you lose and it's your own doing, only your own doing, then it is what it is. But it felt like there was a little bit of a hand in that game that just tilted it always to the wrong side for us, and takes nothing away from the quality of PSG. But if you look back at the phases, you know, what am I supposed to say as well? You know, it's yeah.
Not easy. We've thoroughly enjoyed watching your side in the Champions
Thank
League
you.
this season. We look forward to seeing you in action again next
and we keep
season.
going.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Vincent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Micah, we're looking at you. That's your guy.
I feel sorry for him. I do. He probably didn't see the Lima handball, what he's talking about for the red card. However, the penalty, I think I agree with him.
It's a grey area, right?
It's a grey area. His arm's up here. You know, when it's kicked at him. I know Jamie says he didn't want to see pens given for that, and I totally understand that. But it's his hand in the box. So I understand his frustration. His team have been brilliant in the Champions League, but not enough to go through to the final. Who would you rather Arsenal play, PSG or Bayern in the final? Who did you want?
You know what? I said to you, we're not in a position to pick and choose Arsenal. You know, we're not at the level of those guys yet. So you got to be humble with it. I'm so happy that we're in the final. Let's see what we can do against that team. That's an outstanding team, as we all know. It would have been the same thing if it was Bayern Munich. But in that part, you got to stay in your lane. We're not here to pick and choose. Let's hope we can beat Paris Saint-Germain. It's going to be very difficult.
Wow.
Oh, it's such a good final that we got coming up for you, PSG and Arsenal at the Champions League final. It's Saturday, May 30th, I think, not 31st. Is it 30th?
Thank you, man.
Well, they're going to be there. So will we. So will our team. So please do make sure that you join us. You've got to join the whole crew.